What's going on YouTube? Crypto Matrix here, coming at you with another cryptocurrency stream. And guys, today I wanted to focus on the Electroneum price action. A lot of people on my channel very interested in this project. I want to show you guys exactly what I found in the patterns which could lead up to a new potential breakout, and just where I think this coin is going in the near future and over the next few years. And I'll also be doing analysis on Bitcoin as well, guys. There's just so much relevance to the Bitcoin price to all the other alts, and that's why it's such a major point of relevance going forward, guys. We have to speak about what is relevant. Okay, so that's why I will always be doing a lot of talk about Bitcoin in the next month or so. But guys, there's still a lot of price action going on the alts. Let's dive right into it. If you're not subscribed yet, definitely smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, and guys, I'm going to dive right into the price action. And if you haven't signed up using my links, you can save up to over $7,000 in bonuses just by using all of these links right here. And be sure to follow me on each of my social platforms. I do crypto-related information that is pertinent, time-sensitive on each platform that you guys just can't miss. All right, guys, this is what we're working with Electroneum right now. And there's definitely some very clear patterns which are jumping right out at me. Let me just draw them out for you. So we clearly have a big descending wedge here. And yes, we do have a lot of patterns within patterns which have yielded accurate target results, and we'll go over them shortly. Okay, but just in simplicity on this bigger pattern, if we break out above the resistance, I'd be taking a long on that. If we break out to the bottom side, I'd be going short in simplicity. But let's just talk about all the patterns within patterns that's yielded all these targets. Okay, so we are going to have to go to a different time frame. We're going to have to go to the 15-minute. So let's do that right now. And here we are on the 15-minute. Okay, guys, so let me just draw out what I've found for you guys here. Okay, and we're going to make all of these yellow, and then I'll do the target projections after the measurements. Okay, guys. So a nice descending tightening wedge there. Another one right after it. This one was pretty interesting actually, because we actually had a this one's actually really tough, to be honest with you guys. Let me explain why. So for instance, we do have a descending wedge right here. Okay, so for instance, drawn from the top right through. Okay, but we also have another pattern going right into it right there. It's very tiny, so just bear with me here, guys. That's that sweet spot that I'm talking about. When you're applying leverage trades, you can apply high leverage to make these trades a reality for yourself. Okay, and then I mean right out of it, we had just tight patterns right here. My gosh, they're all over the place. This one you probably would have used textbook wedge measurements, okay, but also wedge theory probably would have yielded you a good target. We'll go over all of this in a moment. But guys, I mean, just look at the way these chains are forming. I mean, the chains are something you guys really need to understand. For instance, if you're taking pattern plays, okay, pattern plays are something that are extremely profitable, okay, but they are the harder form of trade. For instance, I think in order of easiest to hardest, it goes breakout plays, indication plays, and then pattern plays, okay. So for instance, this breakout to the downside is too sharp. Even this one's, you know, pushing it. It's real sharp. So I'm not going to measure that right there. We're going to measure right out of that, for instance. So we have something like this going right through. Okay, a couple moments of overbought territory, but still the targets end up yielding. Okay, again, I will go over all the target projections as soon as I'm done doing all the measurements for you guys, just so you can just see all the patterns within patterns. There's this many trade opportunities on basically every single coin you guys can imagine. They're coin wide here. Okay, here we have an inverse head and shoulders. Okay, measured from its major point of resistance to the point of breakout. Easy stuff, guys, easy stuff. And then this one, I think we're getting the breakout right now as we speak, to the downside right there. Okay, and that is what we're working with as we speak. But let's go over all the target measurements now. Okay, so we'll start at the back here to the point of breakout. And guys, we punched right through that. But notice the body. The body's formed up here. We did have some wicks touching up here, guys. If you don't lock in your profits at targets, you're just being greedy. What's really nice is after a breakout happens, usually a new pattern is beginning to form, and that's when you can start to plan your next attack. Okay, so for instance, again, measured from the back of this wedge to the point of breakout. And guys, this one did not get hit. Okay, so sometimes things do not always go perfectly with the patterns within patterns. That's why we set stop losses and use our indications in combination with volume to really get an accurate reading of what's happening. So this was not a trade I took, for instance. I didn't take any of these trades, just for right here for transparency. I did take a couple of these, but not these over here. Anyway, we did have an ascending wedge then, and then that just had a massive down. Okay, massive down. The measurement, I mean, it blew right through it. We can't even measure that one. Okay, so for instance, if we measured just the back of the wedge, I mean, we really punched right out of that, guys. We shot down. And if you go straight down, you can see the volume coming into the market in a negative way as well. Okay, so at the bottom of that, new pattern started to form, a nice ascending wedge. Okay, measured from the back of the wedge to the point of breakout. And guys, we still punch right there, but notice right there, that's where it retraced a brief moment. Okay, so that's what you're trying to look for. And guys, I always lock in my profits at my targets. If they hit, I don't care. You know, unless I notice a lot of just volume, I will, you know, lock in my profit. Okay, I suggest you guys do the same thing. Moving along, moving along. Oh, I measured that wrong. It's a little too long, too big. Right there. That's perfect in my book, guys. That's real close. That's real close. And understand when you're taking an indication play, which would be like right here. That's huge. If you're using leverage there, that's huge, guys. That is a huge move. Okay. And then right out of that target, new pattern formed right down into the inverse head and shoulders. What's really interesting is you could have taken either of these pattern measurements and targets and gotten a good result here. Okay, so all the way down to the bottom wick to the point of breakout. My gosh, guys, I mean, it's beautiful. And we could even measure the wedge and probably get the same kind of target here. Okay, so like say out of the wedge, that's a little shyer, but you get the idea. We're still having wicks up to there, matching. Okay, guys, you know, it really doesn't get any better than that. So we're kind of in a breakout right now. For instance, we got the indication right here, and we are working down, guys. But remember what I said. We have to get above this orange zone with Electroneum to kind of be out of the woods for the short term. Remember, that was where the previous big retracement was. And as I said in the previous videos, this would probably be 5 or 6 videos ago now, that we have to get that trigger to pump up some good price here. Remember when Bitcoin dumped, like I said, if Bitcoin has a massive dump, so all the alts. This is an example of that, guys. So for instance, when I was telling everyone take a little profits at the bump, a little bit at the lead-in trend line, and now guys, like I said, if you missed the legacy line, you are now waiting for a reversal to sell that coin. For instance, all of my hodl position is being held right now. But let's just talk about the bigger pattern here for a second. As we know, descending wedges do tend to break to the upside, okay? So let's just measure that out. Say like we get a breakout like right here. We could easily be possibly retesting around the 1 cent range. Okay, guys, so that's what we really need to see happen. For instance, we don't want to keep going down the rabbit hole too far, okay, because if we break previous lows, that is not a good sign at all. And let me zoom out and just show you guys that real quick. Okay, so the low was basically 0.072. So guys, I'll be very transparent. It has looked like we've been kind of putting in higher lows until recently, okay? Like we just kind of broke below. We got to see where this one goes. If we go down further, that's not a good sign. We could be retesting the support here. We could break down further. And if we break down past this level, that is not good, guys, okay? That would be what we call a sinking ship, okay? Now, I will be very transparent. I really like this coin. I'm not going to be panic selling. It will not happen if that does happen. I will not be selling, guys. You guys know I have a pretty big bag here. So yes, I did take some fast coin, you know, back at the top. But in reality, guys, I am holding a big portion of this coin, and I will be holding it for higher times, specifically when this bull cycle completes. Okay, guys, we've all been talking about the super cycle and how this could be mimicking the second bull run, for instance, having 2 major peaks instead of just 1. And as long as that happens, guys, this will end up very, very profitable for me. But let's dive over to Bitcoin real quick. I hope that, guys, gives you guys a little bit of ease of understanding of what's going on with Electroneum here. And we are right around that trigger. But like I said, we could move sideways just for a while and then get that run up. And like I said, guys, I'm actually anticipating around August to see a little bit of a reversal here with Electroneum, let alone Bitcoin as well. Okay, guys, so now we're talking about Bitcoin here. And I just wanted to identify a very clear pattern which could be forming out as we speak. So for instance, we could have, as we speak, a head and shoulders forming out. Okay, so let's see if we get a little bit of pump back up here, and then we will form an inverse head and shoulders. And guys, as you know, that is a bearish sign. Okay, that means we could be kind of just going above the 200 for a brief moment and then getting rejected by resistances. And for instance, we get the price action like this and then a breakout to the downside again, guys. And I'll be very transparent on why I believe this. And yes, guys, there was a lot of patterns within patterns here. I don't have time to go over it all today. We will go over more patterns within patterns as we move forward. I just don't have time today. I have a full schedule of students. So my gosh, in simplicity, guys, we are still putting in lower highs. And let me just show you that. So for instance, as we move down here, we're putting in lower highs, okay? Will we continue to roll over? Okay, that's what's been the big talk for, weeks now. Are we going to continue to roll over? We've been continuing to roll over and over. Okay, so the reality is we didn't break the previous top right there, okay, with this run up. That's not a good sign, guys. I've actually seen a lot of videos, people saying, warning to the bears and stuff like that. Guys, this is a warning to the bulls straight away, guys. Until we put in a higher low and higher highs, we are still moving down, okay? Quite simply, guys. And if we break down below the 200 and the 55 on the 1 hourly, that is just proof of that actually happening, okay? And then we will retest the last form of support, okay? The legacy line, okay? So let's, hold your bags accordingly. Make sure that if you, are nearing break even, that you're thinking about maybe taking some profits here, guys. We could end up easily going down further here. That being said, what I am doing, my hodl positions I am holding strong. My fast coin, I've actually already taken all of my profit, and I am waiting to get back in at this bottom. So I believe we will retest, and we will either break it or bounce again, just like we just did. And if we break it here, that is a bad sign. We will break this last form of support, which is around the $29,000 level, guys. So this next week is extremely pivotal for Bitcoin, okay? And let me just zoom back in on that head and shoulders and show you guys that target projection here and just how to take that trade. So we've got the shoulder, the head, and a potential shoulder. Now, we don't exactly know what's going to happen with the price action. That's what indications are for, okay? So for instance, what we're going to do is, as this forms out, watch your indications and combined with volume. And in simplicity, if we break the shoulder, you are looking for a long. Okay, and I'm going to make that yellow just to really brighten that up for you. If we break the support, you go short. Okay, guys, and that's exactly what I will be doing to tackle this trade. And yes, we do have a lot of patterns within here, guys, but just focus on this big one. Make yourself a nice big trade, and just remember, we break the resistance, go long, we break the support, go short. And then measured from the tallest wick to the point of support to the point of breakout. And guys, if we break down, we could easily be back down around 33,000, or we break up, we could easily be retesting $40-some thousand, guys. So let's see if that happens over the next few days. Get ready to make your trades. This will be a big one. And guys, that's all the time I have for today. These are pretty wild times in cryptocurrency, and man, I just got to share with you guys about the student program right now. 3 students within the last week have just completed their program, meaning they've actually only done about 15 hours or so, but they've actually paid off their entire program with their profits. And I'm very happy to report any student who is above 10 hours is easily made over 10,000 bucks. So guys, I am just blown away with this program. We are really giving financial freedom through knowledge of technical analysis, guys, and it is just an amazing feeling. Just as a teacher alone, forget about everything else for a second. Just watching you guys go through these life-changing times is just really a rewarding thing for me, guys. So thank you for this place of happiness. I'm glad I've been able to give it back to you guys as well. And guys, I cannot stress enough, if you want to discover your financial freedom, reach out to me today at bitcoindestar@gmail.com. My buddy Mitch will be happy to send you your onboarding email, or you can go right over to the website and get signed up. I've made it very easy for you guys. You can even find all of my socials and all of the options for the student program. And guys, just even booking your first 5 hours, you get into Zion, and it's just an amazing, amazing place. When you have a bunch of like-minded individuals all striving for the same goal, it is just the best environment to grow and thrive. And my gosh, the success rate among the group is just proof of this process, guys. Once you get to Zion, just open up, talk to people, you'll see what I mean. It's just a beautiful thing we have going on right now. Guys, just remember, if you don't come from a rich family must come from you. With cryptocurrency, I make it as easy as riding that wave. I am Crypto Matrix. I'll catch you guys later.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.